We have a saying in science: extraordinary claims require extraordinary proof. So I am now going to make a wild, way out, extraordinary claim.
The Earth is flat.
If you'd like, look at pictures from space where you see the Earth as a sphere. Those pictures are fake. Into it, the Earth isn't quite a sphere.
Claims. The world is flat and claims. The world is flat. Once in a while you might see mountains or hills, but those are just like little bumps on what looks like a flat Earth. And claims. The world is flat. And this boat, well, it's like a boat. Anyway, watch as ships sail away. They don't disappear all at once. No, first, the bottom will disappear. See, the bottom of the ship is gone. Now we can see midway up, and then the whole thing disappears. If you have a claim that can't be tested, that's what we call pseudoscience. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary proof.
Hey Bill, can you prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the Earth is a sphere and not flat?
Flat or round? It's flat. Now let's see, how do we go about proving that? Go to the seashore. Go to a seashore and figure out why you can't, if you live on the East Coast, figure out why you can't see that NASA has created, in this one case.
Yeah, NASA's latest. Sounds like a group. Yeah, NASA's latest. Sounds like a group.
Or hills, but those are just like little bumps on what looks like a flat Earth. Realized that the world is curved.
Yeah, NASA's latest. Sounds like a group.
Is whether or not you can test it. The flat Earth.
The world is flat. The world is flat. The world is flat. The world is flat. We believe the Earth is flat. I'm stumped, Callie. I don't know how people believe that. We have classroom globes. We have spacecraft that take pictures. You can find documents from medieval times where people knew the world was round. Christopher Columbus knew the world was round. He just sold Queen Isabel on the idea that he could get it done really fast, sailing around the world. Globally, the world is flat. It's not just a question of whether or not it's good for you, it's a question of whether or not it's good for the ecosystem and good for the agriculture, the sustainability of our agricultural systems. One of these is organic and one of them is genetically modified. Do you know which one? The world is flat. Is that the Earth is a closed system. We cannot leave the Earth. Australia, this all depends on our fundamental understanding of the size of the Earth and its shape with extraordinary precision. And if you want to get into it, the Earth isn't quite a sphere. It's a little bleh. Its spin is a little bleh. Stretched it, made it slightly oblate, as the saying goes. This is all susceptible to analysis, but spend some time learning about navigation. Tell your friends to spend some time learning about navigation. Just start there. Then if you'd like, look at pictures from space where you see the Earth as a sphere. Those pictures are not faked, and I'll tell you just, if nothing else, here's why you can tell they're not faked. Just to create the paperwork that NASA has created, NASA in this one case, just the paperwork to send anything out in space, to send people into orbit or send them to the moon, that amount of paperwork would make faking it prohibitively expensive. No one could afford to generate that much documentation. Then the other thing, if you want to get into this, if you're really serious, if your friends are really serious, have them get on a boat or a ship and go out at sea, and you'll notice you can't see infinitely far. Furthermore, if you get into it enough,
what goes through your mind when you hear things like that?
Well, first of all, I, as a science educator, have failed. I've failed.
No.
Evolution was discovered. It's not something people made up. It was discovered, and the evidence for it is astonishing. It's overwhelming. Charles Darwin, back in his day, took flowers. He took roses.
Oh, they're props. I love it when you bring props.
He compared the different varieties of flowers, and he came up with a very reasonable explanation of species. And he used the same techniques that flower breeders use today, little tweezers, magnifiers, and he studied the ova, the eggs and pollen of flowers. I mention this only as an example. What do these guys do? I ask myself. when they take their children to a conventional natural history museum and their fossil dinosaur bones. But one of the problems that both of these guys brought up was the age of the Earth, and I say that as a scientific question. What is the age of the Earth? And near as I can tell, they each assert, and this is my perception of their words, they each assert that the Earth is 10,000 years old, something like that. But I'm sure that they both, if they don't have smoke detectors in their house, they probably have been in hotel rooms that have smoke detectors. And these rely generally on a tiny piece of americium. Americium is 1 proton more than plutonium. You make americium in a nuclear reactor. And you're able to make americium because you understand how neutrons and protons interact. You understand nuclear physics. And by understanding it, you infer that the Earth is 4.5 billion years old. That's science. Those are facts. You can't just close your eyes and make them not true.
But yes, GMOs are safe to eat.
And then I got to thinking about it, realized it's going to end my career. Globally, the world is flat. 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 Globally,